Hey guys, and welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Welcome back. As promised, this week we are going to be making gumbo.
Gumbo.
Chicken and seafood gumbo. It is not the most healthy choice, but winter's coming on. You want something to really stick to your ribs.
Yes.
Dark and delicious. I don't personally have a lot of experience with this, but I have YouTube.
There you go.
And I have cookbooks, by the way. The recipe I'm semi going to follow is good old Justine Wilson.
Woo, done deal.
I guarantee.
Yeah.
So, after we do our terrible impressions, in this pot, and you do want a pretty heavy pot, I've got a cast iron. You want it pretty heavy. I've got 1 stick of unsalted butter. You can use salted. To that, I'm going to add about 8 glugs. Or
Look.
see, that's what happens when you're low budget. You don't really have the money for those sound effects and the glugs.
But you got me.
You know, and it's live. Just like Boston.
Yeah.
All those hand claps you heard, they were really hand claps. So they say. So when we get back, we'll show you what to make and how to make it. When we come back on In the Kitchen with me, Mikey.
Oh.
Forget something?
Yeah.
And our cameraman, Roy. We'll be right back. And just like the plague, we're back.
That was pretty. That butter's pretty.
It will be. You want to balance your butter with your olive oil or even a vegetable oil if you choose something with very little flavor. Peanut oil would be a great one. But you want to mix it with your butter because your butter has a lower
Smoke point?
smoke point. Thank you. So to that, we are going to add about...
Isn't that magic?
This is just a little bit more than a 1/4 cup of flour.
Oh, here's where the happiness is going to come in.
You are going to get a lot of foaming right off the top. That's from your butter. The liquids are cooking out of your butter. And yes, I don't care how good your butter is. It still has some moisture in it. And it will give it up. And this will start to darken. Roy,
Yeah.
what is this we're making?
We are making a roux.
We are making what kind of a roux?
Chocolate roux?
A dark roux.
Yes.
Do you know what the other roux is called?
Ganga?
Well, I'm not, because I have no hair. But if I had hair, I'd probably not be a blonde. But anyway, it's called a blonde roux.
Oh. Okay. Well, that's the part of the mother sauces too.
Yes, it is.
A beurre blanc.
For beurre blanc.
Yeah.
We are going to do a show, by the way, by all 5 of the mother sauces. Going to put just a little bit more flour in there. Now, do not get in a hurry with this because it ain't going to happen. If you try to hurry and push it too far, you're just going to burn this. You are going to want, like Roy said, about the color of a good chocolate, a good dark chocolate. That is going to take you anywhere from 15 minutes to 30 minutes, depending on how high your heat is and how persistent you are with stirring.
There's 2 of us. We're going to whip this into shape real quick.
So, when we get back, we will show you the other ingredients. And again, this is going to be one of those items that you can pretty much use anything that you want. You can even do a vegetarian. I personally wouldn't. If I'm going to go through the trouble of making a roux like this, shrimp, chicken, tofu, you can do it.
A tofu roux. Tofu roux.
Okay. Okay, before he gets any more out of control.
I'm working on it real quick.
And no, we're not drinking tonight.
No.
In fact, I've been at work all day. It's 10 o'clock on a Saturday.
10 o'clock on a Saturday.
I worked all day. I'm tired.
Yes, he's hard.
But this is so much fun. And I wish you could smell this. It is going to get...
Look, it's already turning like almost peanut butter now.
It's going to get nuttier the longer this cooks. And it will, believe it or not, get a little bit thicker. You're not looking for a super thick stew, but you want a little bit of body to it. We'll be right back, and our roux will be done.
Yes. That is pretty.
This is about a chocolate stage, milk chocolate. You still want to go a little bit darker than this. And don't worry, if you're doing it low enough, you will smell... It gets very, very nutty, but you're going to smell more of your pan. Trust me, you're not burning it. As long as you're making sure to use something similar to a flat spatula. And watch, when doing this, make sure that your spatula is heat resistant and fry resistant, because it's basically what you're doing is frying this flour. But make sure you're going to the bottom each time. If you look on there where you see the tracers, make sure that you're not leaving any on the bottom, or you will get some burnt bits. You burn your roux, I'm sorry, you're not going to get rid of that bitter flavor.
You just wasted your time. If you burnt your roux, you're done.
You'll have to start over. It's like burnt beans. You just don't have one burnt bean.
Once you scorch them, you're gone. Yeah, this right here is a thing of love.
It is, and there's no way to rush this.
No, might as well pull you up a stool or something and have a seat.
Make you a little cocktail and cook with friends, cook with family.
Yes.
This would not be the greatest thing to cook with kids in the kitchen. I mean, it's hot oil. Or drunk Roy's or anything like that. You know? But we haven't drank in a while.
No.
It's coming up, don't worry.
Oh, yeah. The holidays are coming.
We are doing a live show. Holiday, we'll be doing a 2-camera view. We will be live on Facebook, and we will also be live here. We are going to be doing our Thanksgiving dinner a little early for you guys, so we can take some extended time off. Now, I'm not saying a week early or anything, probably a day early, once you see what we're doing with the turkey.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we will be right back when this is all brown and toasty.
I wish you could smell it in here. It smells so good.
The nutty, buttery,
Yes.
really good. Just keep stirring. While you're mixing, don't forget to get the edges. You don't want any of this to burn.
Nice. Look at that.
It's getting real good and brown. We are ready.
Let's do it.
Now, in here, there is nothing but the butter, flour, and a little bit of oil. If you put any of your spices or seasoning in that early, they're going to burn and get very bitter, especially pepper. Not so much with salt, but pepper burns really bad. Okay, this is ready. Now, we are going to add to that 1 large onion. We're using a sweet onion. You only want to cook these till they're about translucent.
Oh y'all.
That is beautiful.
Isn't that? Ooh, done did just on this time.
We do have to thank him.
Yes, I think he would took his roux a little bit darker than that, though.
I believe he would have, but I am a chicken when it comes to that because I don't
You
want
know,
to
I
burn it.
lean too. I always said that I was going to go that dark. And I just didn't venture that far. Notice how sweet that is.
Oh, by the way, with that, we threw in a large clove of garlic, or 3.
You just smell this casa.
Oh. Now, I have heard of a cheating way to do this and a cheating way to do French onion soup by doing this in the oven. Setting your oven temperature at between 350 and 375 and just let it go in there without stirring it. I've never done it. It may work. I think if you want something to taste really good, you're going to work at it. There's not a whole lot of shortcuts with it. That's the same thing with the French onion soup. I've never done it in the oven, but I could see the theory behind it. Get a lot more caramel and not having to watch it as much.
I would try it.
So these tighten up pretty quick. I'm also going to add in, this is about a teaspoon of just jalapeno. Jalapeno. Vegetables in here are subjective. Usually, this is something I do know. When you do a filet gumbo, you don't use
Okra.
The slime in okra is a thickener, and so is filet. So, to that, we are going to add some vegetables. Typically, carrots, celery, onion, that's what we're adding, with a little bit of green pepper. Looks like a lot, don't it? Keep in mind, it's going to cook down. Right now is a good time for you guys to start thinking about your liquid. What you want. You can add water.
Why would you just add plain water when you can up the flavor?
You can use any of your broth. If you have a chicken broth, a good seafood broth. We are going to go with a seafood broth with this tonight. And you're going to want, give or take for this amount, 4 to 6 cups. And let me cover what we've got in here again. A little bit more than a half a cup of flour, 1 full stick of butter, about 3/4 of a cup of olive oil, 1 very large onion,
Sweet.
1 large clove of garlic, about a half a cup of carrots, a cup of celery, and about a half a cup of green bell peppers. I think it was just 1 pepper we cut up.
Yes.
So what we're going to do now is let this cook for just a few minutes and get our broth ready. When we get back, we'll throw in the chicken, some seafood. I think Roy bought us some shrimps. We'll be right back in the kitchen with me, Mikey, and some really good gumbo. Oh, and him, our cameraman, Roy.
Hi. We'll be right back.
Our chicken has been cooking about 35 minutes now, and it is ready. So now comes the time to throw in some seafood. We have some scrimps, cleaned, deveined, all the way around. Now these are only going to cook in here for about 5 minutes.
Yep, don't take very long at all.
We did have some rice going, and if you don't know your rice, give basmati a shot.
Oh, please do.
It's 1-to-1 ratio, and pretty much cooks itself. It doesn't require a whole lot of seasoning, maybe just a little bit of salt. But as we always say, watch your salt. You can always add more later, but you can't take it out.
Right.
Now, while we went away for a little bit, right after I put my chicken in there, which we use 4 thighs in this, I added 2 tablespoons of salt. So far, that's been the only seasoning. Everything else in here came directly from the garlic, the hot pepper, the roux. Roy and I both decided we probably could have gone a little bit further with the roux. This being my first time, I was actually scared that I'd burn it.
I was scared my first time too.
I went easy. So here we are going to put in 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire, or 10 glugs.
That's what Justin said. Glug, glug,
glug. Just a few pops of Tabasco, depending on how much heat you like. Now I am cutting way back on it, because not only do we have the little bit of jalapeno in here, but we're going to be adding andouille, and it does have a bite to it. We are going to put in about a teaspoon of filet. Roy, do you know where filet comes from?
Isn't that from it's from a sassafras tree?
Yes, it's the leaves.
Yes.
Any of y'all ever had that sassafras tea?
I had like the sarsaparilla root beer, but not a tea, because I'm not a dirty leaf drinker.
That's not necessarily true. I've got you started on a few teas.
Oh, that's true. Now see, hibiscus tea.
Yes. So, all we have left is our andouille sausage. We cut up half of this. I do believe I am going to use the other half as well. Because what's it going to do? Just sit in the refrigerator and do nothing. So guys, it is together. This is gumbo. There's only one thing left for us to do.
I know what that is.
For Roy to make a beautiful plate and for us to sit down and eat.
I'll say eat it.
Like I said, your shrimp and your andouille's already cooked. Your shrimp is not going to take long at all, 2 to 3 minutes. When it's done, we will be right back. Roy will work his magic and get this plated up beautifully. I thank you very much for stopping by. Hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful, scary Halloween. Thanks for stopping by in the kitchen with me, Mikey. I get loud on that, don't I?
You do. Well, it's exciting.
We can't forget my cameraman, Roy.
Y'all have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.